Many people want the palace, but reject the pasture. Man, that's good. Many people want the palace, but they reject the pasture. Not pastor, like the pastor, the pasture. The sheep, they want to go, they want the title, they want the top, but they don't want the character building to get there. Now remember this, the anointing can take you there, but your character will keep you there. See, favor upon your life is not just God's favor upon your life. We're talking about favor, trying to stay on the theme there, is not just like straight promotion without process. It's yes, sometimes it feels like it happened overnight because that's one day of favor is better than 1,000 days of labor, yes. But what about the time spending in prayer and seeking God and being processed and changing and looking in your word and being transformed into the image of God and all the heart checks along the way, the offenses that come, and you got to forgive people and you got to forgive yourself, and that's all part of building you up for the next thing. And so that's the dirty part. People want the shiny part, but they don't want the dirty part. That's what the pasture is, a dirty place. The sheep are doing what sheep do. He's out there with the sheep. And guess what that was doing? It was building character. It was building character. And not only was it building character, it was preparing him to take the throne one day. Because what happened? We know let's look at David. During the process of David's life, David is out there with the sheep, and then a lion comes. And what does David do with the lion? He takes the lion out, and he protects the sheep. Okay, well, he would probably just thought he was just doing his job, but then a bear comes, and the lion prepared him for the bear, and then he takes the bear out. But little did he know in the time of his process, being in the pasture, being in training. Because here's another thought before I finish. You know where I'm going if you know the Bible and David and Goliath. But here's the thing. Think about this in the natural. Athletes spend far more time practicing than they do playing. You practice sometimes 5, 6 days a week to play one game a week. Think about football. I remember playing football, and we practiced from Monday. No, we actually got up early on Saturdays. We got Sunday off. We practice on Saturday, Monday through Thursday to play one game on Friday. We practiced 5 times and played one game. The pasture is the place where God is preparing you. You're practicing ultimately for eternity, but especially for your destiny. David was out there. He took the lion out. He took the bear out. And then he didn't even plan on taking Goliath out. That was not part of his plan, but it was God's plan. See, God's plan was to get him to that point. It took time, but time had its course. And then the Bible puts it this way, in the fullness of time, which you should put that in your notes, Jesus came in the fullness of time. What does that mean? At the proper time, when it was time for him to come. God was processing everything, the proper time. And so at the fullness of time, David is getting instructed to go to see his brothers. And the long story short, he takes out Goliath. Now, the preparation to even get there is what got him there. But then that moment when he was ready and he took Goliath out, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around for good. He stepped into the place where divine promotion happened, not because he forced it, but because God led him to that point. See, here's another thing. You cannot force, how do I want to put this? You cannot force God's promotion time. I guess I'll put it that way. I don't know, that's a terrible way to say it, but you can't force God. You can't force the process. We'll put it that way. You can't force the process. You can't speed it up. Now, God can accelerate it. We talk about acceleration. I believe in that. It's because it's God's acceleration. He can accelerate the process, but you can't. You can't accelerate it any more than we can accelerate a 9-month in the womb baby to come and be born. You can't. You have to let it have its full course. So, trusting the process means serving faithfully in even obscurity.